Have you ever thought to yourself, I'm making great money, so why do I still feel so stressed? Because if you have, I want you to hear this clearly. You're not broken, you're not bad with money, and you're definitely not alone. So today I'm going to explain why you feel that way, break down a thought process that you probably have never heard of before, never really even thought of it that way, and then I'm going to explain exactly how to fix it. By the end of this video, you're going to feel relieved, refreshed, and ready to take action. Let's dive in. Hey, if you're new here, my name is Jamil Frazier. I've built a 9-figure business. I've built a 7-figure real estate portfolio and a 7-figure stock portfolio. And I'm the founder of Think Life is Different. And I work exclusively with high income earners and business owners who feel behind, confused, overwhelmed by money, even though they're doing everything right. So yesterday I was working with a married couple. They're students in my Inner Circle program. Now he's a firefighter and she's a stay-at-home mom. They have 3 kids, and with overtime, he makes about $17,000 a month. On paper, beautiful life. 2 SUVs, a trailer, a boat, a big home in a gated community. But even with all of that, he takes me to the side and he says, Jamil, man, I feel like I'm drowning. I'm tired all the time. I'm only 45 years old and I'm exhausted. I never see my family. The only way I can make more money is to put in more overtime. So I just got my real estate license to try to supplement the income gap that we have right here. And outside of my house and my work retirement, I have 0 investments and barely any savings. I make good money, man. Why do I feel so stressed? And here's the crazy thing. It's not just unique to him, because I felt the same way before I really started my journey for financial peace and financial freedom. So here's what we got to know. About half of Americans, roughly 49 to 52%, say that they're living paycheck to paycheck. But here's the part that nobody talks about. Even among high income earners, they feel the same. You feel the same. Around 32% of people making $100,000 to $150,000 live paycheck to paycheck. And about 20% of people who are earning $150,000 or more do as well. So if you're watching this thinking, why does this feel so hard even though I make great money? You're not crazy. You're just stuck in a system that rewards spending and not leadership. So my student didn't have a money problem. He had a leadership problem and he had a self-love and value problem. And that's what I really want to talk to you about today. So write this down. I love that I'm wearing the shirt that literally says write this down as well. But write this down. What I allow is going to continue. What I had to get very, very comfortable with is if I allow a bully to keep bullying me, they will. If I allow my kids to keep talking back to me, they will. If I allow my employees to keep showing up late, they will. And if I allow $20,000 a month to be spent when I'm only bringing in $17,000 a month, I promise you it will. And here's the thing that nobody talks about. That's not bad math. It's poor leadership. Because when you are a leader, then you're going to take the path that most just are not going to take. And you're going to make the tough, necessary decisions. And you're going to control outcomes from the front instead of just responding all the time from the back. So it's not his wife. It's not his kids. It's not the economy. It's not even his career. It's none of that stuff. It's leadership or a lack thereof. So now let's talk about value. When Cadillac, Land Rover, Verizon, Amex, Chase, Apple, Amazon, the nanny, the landscaper, competitive volleyball, DoorDash all get paid before you do. And not only that, they get more of your money than you do. That tells me exactly who you value most. And for years, I was guilty of this too. I loved corporations more than I loved myself. The corporations felt great every single month while I felt burnt out and constantly felt behind. So here's the shift that happened to me. Here's the shift that's going to happen for my student. Here's the shift that's going to happen for you. Everything really changed for me when I started saying this. I love myself so much that nobody gets my money before I do. Okay. So that's the first thing that I want you to start saying. In fact, write it down right now. In fact, put it in the comments below. I don't even want you to proceed further on this video until you drop it in the comments below that I love myself so much that nobody from here on out is ever going to get my money before I get my money. Never, ever, 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 ever. Next, I want you to say that I'm going to lead and direct, not be passive and directed. And I want you to drop that in the comments below too. Like once that mindset really starts to shift for you, I promise you everything is going to change. Because so much of this is about how you think about yourself, how you think about value, how you think about self-worth, and how you think about love. So now that we know that, let's talk about how do we fix it? How do we fix this, Jamil? Well, I got 5 steps for you. How to go from feeling like, man, I make such great money. Why do I feel like I'm always behind, or why do I feel stressed? To the freedom and the flexibility that you really want, especially in your income bracket. So let's break these down. Step number 1 is to really define your outcome. What do I mean by that? What I mean by that is I want you to hold in your mind what you actually want. What is really important to you, and almost even more important to that, what is the feeling that you want to have? So you don't necessarily need more money, right? But what is the feeling that you want from having the margin that you are desiring? Like, what is that? Is it freedom? Is it peace? Is it time with your family? And I want you to hold that new vision, that new reality into your mind, into your soul, and into your spirit. Because as you walk around every single day, this needs to now become just a part of your consciousness. Okay. Like it just needs to become a part of you. Step number 2 is to pay yourself first. Now, this is a non-negotiable. This has to happen. And that's why I really wanted to pause when I talked about value and self-love and self-worth. And this is why I literally had to drop in the comments that nobody gets my money before I do, because this is like the number 1 thing that we need to do, almost outside of everything else. And it really is a value thing. So when I say pay yourself first, what I mean is before anybody touches your money, then at least 20% of your money has to be kept by you. Now, 10%, we want to give it a job. We want that to be directed to a high yield savings account. And the other 10%, that has to have a job, and that needs to be directed to some sort of investment, whether that's stocks, whether that's real estate, whether that's buying more businesses. But 20% of every single time you get paid has to be kept by you. If you don't do this one thing, nothing else is going to matter. Step number 3 is I want you to cut your expenses by 20 or 30%. Now, you're a leader now. That means you got to start making some hard decisions, not excuses. Temporary discomfort for permanent freedom. I don't want you to do what a lot of people do, which is, Jamil, I can't do that. That's a tall task. How am I going to do that? I don't think that that's possible for me. That is not leadership. This is why I preference and I frame this whole episode on how we want to start showing up. So cut expenses by 20 or 30%. Step number 4 is increase your income by at least $2,000 a month. Whether that means we got to do more overtime, or I have some side hustles, or I start negotiating a higher salary, or I just really work to build a new skill that I can start to monetize. But basically, high earners have options. They just don't use them intentionally. Now, step number 5, attack your debt aggressively. And when I say aggressively, I really mean aggressively. So how do we actually do that? Well, 1, you're going to start to use the money that you freed up from cutting 20 or 30% of your expenses. We're not using that money to spend it. We're now going to allocate that towards paying off that debt. And then the $2,000 a month extra that I just had you earn, you're going to take that and you're going to put it to paying off debt as well. Now, here's the deal. Debt dies fast when leadership actually shows up. So when you do all these things, those 5 steps, you don't just fix your money, you lead with confidence, you reduce stress dramatically, you replace chaos with structure, and you finally feel in control. So your money actually stops being the source of anxiety and now starts to become a tool again. And this is how you start scaling. This is literally how I went from negative $100,000 in debt to millionaire in just 5.5 years. So it isn't just theory, right, that we're talking about. These are things that I literally have done, but you have to start valuing yourself more, and you actually have to start loving yourself, and you have to actually start to show it, not just talk about it. So let me ask you, have you ever made good money, but still feel like you're drowning? If so, Let me know in the comments below. Like, let's shout that out. And also, which one of these 5 steps are you committing to first? And I want you to drop that in the comments, because saying it publicly is going to increase your follow through. If we can't do something as simple as putting below amongst all of our peers which one of these steps we're going to take action on, the likelihood that we're actually going to take action on it is minimum. So hey, if this video has felt like it was describing your life, then you're in the right place. Go on and subscribe to the channel, because everything that's on this channel is about helping people who make great money finally feel calm, confident, and in control of it. Also, don't forget to like this video and check out the next video that's on the screen. Until next time, say it with me: no lazy money. I'll see you soon.